You're very welcome back to the Daily Rundown. We're still with the Something to Say part of the show, and it's Stephen Armstrong's turn now.
Yes, it's kind of one that breaks into two. It is another gripe, as it always is with me. First of all, they've released the top 100 movies of the 21st century.
Yes.
We're only 16 years into it. There is like 84 years to go. I'm guessing there's going to be some more made. I mean, Mulholland Drive won. It's a very good movie, very strange, but very good. But that's just troubled me. And the second one, which kind of feeds onto it, is the amount of remakes. I thought it was bad enough when we remade Get Carter and The Italian Job and all these kinds of things. They're remaking.
No.
Yeah. They're remaking It. And the one that really shattered my world is they're remaking the film Clue. With Tim Curry in. It's based on Cluedo. It is one of the funniest movies ever. A friend of mine, Kirsten Finger, who is an American, wants to play Mrs. Peacock. I think they need a fat, hairy Cumbrian butler in that movie if you're casting. But I just think and the one I heard today, which is quite an interesting one, is they're remaking Brokeback Mountain. But they're remaking it with Margot Robbie and Emma Watson.
That's not true.
That is true.
That's some lad's Bible. As
no, it is not.
Everyone would love to see that.
Well, see now, I'm hoping because Margot Robbie's just recently in Suicide Squad, and there was some issues about whether they digitally reduced her shorts in the movie to make them even look more skimpy. There are issues within that about the relationship between herself and the Joker and all those kind of things. And the comic book nerds, I'm sure, will be just losing their potatoes about some of the stuff that goes on in that movie. But they are meant to be remaking Brokeback Mountain. I just think that remakes of movies, I mean, I am at a loss to think of a remake that was better than the original.
Fly?
Damn. Yes, okay, yeah, there you go. There we go, I've totally shot it. But
you're right, I can't think of it.
I just think like a lot of times they remake them and they just ruin these things. The one I saw recently is an accusation that The Lion King was based on an anime called Kimba, and that it was, and they sort of compared the two together, completely missing the fact that The Lion King is based on Hamlet. So they missed the fact that quite a lot of Disney movies are based on Shakespeare plays.
Literature.
Yeah, on classic literature. And The Lion King is based on Hamlet, because his uncle kills his father and all that kind of stuff. But they don't. And I just think that the idea that we should have original thought. I saw a trailer for a movie recently, which I think everybody should watch. It's called The Brand New Testament. And it starts with the lines, God isn't dead. He lives in a flat in Brussels. And it's about a story between God and his daughter, who is a rambunctiously young little girl who gets very upset. God is sat in his room in Brussels making up rules like Law 2019, when you get in the bath, the telephone will ring. So that's what God's up to. And his daughter then gives away all the death dates to people. And this is an original idea that I think is fantastically good. And yet we are still making remakes of movies which stand their test of time. I don't understand why we need to remake Clue or Brokeback Mountain. I think that both of them are movies that have their own. I do, as you say, Fiona, fear that I hope the remake of Brokeback Mountain is a better, well thought out idea than the suggestion for the Expendables, which was the female version of the Expendables, which originally was pitched that they were all going to be they were going to pretend to be escorts and go to this
Hollywood's lost its mind.
Well, I think that, the Expendables itself, it has lost its potatoes. I think that we should make original movies, and if you need to remake a movie, then remake it in a comedy style. Remake a parody. Ghostbusters is a remake, but I think that it's a perfectly fun movie. I know there are some gentlemen who, again, I will use this phrase, have lost their potatoes about girls being in Ghostbusters. I think it's a funny standalone movie.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
No,
I think
it wasn't
aside
bad.
from the sort of sexist reactions. Have you seen it, Wendy?
No, I didn't see
I
it.
love Ghostbusters, and I think anybody, even like, you didn't even have to be, was on every Christmas for my entire life basically. But the sexist attitude, I'll be honest though, I still think they could have just not remade it.
Well,
I still think they could have just not remade it on the same, everything you've said, on the basis of that.
I think that there is a suggestion that with Ghostbusters, I've heard people suggest that maybe they could have made a movie where at the beginning they had Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd sort of handing over the Ghostbusters legend to this new brand of Ghostbusters, and it could have been a new, like a reboot rather than a remake.
And do you feel that still qualifies, or don't you feel that still qualifies as some kind of a rehashing of an original idea, though?
Well, I think that, there's that difference between remaking something and the phrase at the moment is to reboot, so that they've rebooted Batman and rebooted Superman and rebooted Spider-Man.
Reimagining is
reimagining. That's another one. Yeah. I think that all of these words are just again for repeat movies.
They just got lazy, Stephen.
They may have got lazy. I mean, I'm saying this sat here as somebody who really hopes they don't make a Hulk movie because they've made so many of them now that it just seems to be too.
Have they got it right yet, though?
No, they haven't. But I think Mark Ruffalo is an excellent Hulk in that we haven't seen a full Hulk movie. So he has just managed to keep that kind of comedy moments where, like in the Avengers, when he uses Thor as a bat. Loki uses a bat.
I've thought of one. I haven't actually seen it, but I saw it got great reviews. It was the remake of Mad Max. Charlize Theron.
Yeah, with Tom Hardy.
Yeah, I didn't see it, so I actually can't. I've nothing to go on really. But
see, now I've not seen the original.
Interesting.
So I've seen the new one, but not the original.
Magnificent Seven is coming out. Soon.
Well, yes. See, now a classic point is Inglourious. I don't know if
it's the name of the film.
Yeah, Inglourious Bastards. The original of that is fantastic.
I didn't even know that was.
And if you watch the original of Inglourious Bastards, the character that Robert Downey Jr. plays in Tropic Thunder is based on a character. Oh, it looks like it is. It's pretty much a direct lift and copy of a character that's in the original Inglourious Bastards, which puts a different spin on Robert Downey Jr.'s character in Tropic Thunder. But it's a different movie, but. I enjoyed it more.
So what would be your definition of creative and novel movies?
I would like to see. I would like to see The Crow, but based on the book rather than on the film. So like an actual kind of thing like that. I would think that. Well, that's the idea. I want to see a movie that is like
you've never thought of.
That I've never thought of.
Yeah. Is there something that you would ask you would walk out in the streets and protest against being remade? What was your favourite film that you would hate to see touched? Everybody has one, don't they?
A Fish Called Wanda.
Really?
That's yours, Wendy.
Yeah, I like it.
That's yours, yeah.
I think it's a really novel thing, and then if you redo it, it's just going to become another cop show.
Sure, yeah.
Cop tries to get
I don't know. I mean, I like Citizen Kane. That's a movie I could watch every day. I mean, I watch. My favourite director is Kevin Smith, so I don't know whether you could remake Dogma or Mallrats or.
It was very
Jane
much kind
Silent
of time
Bombs.
that was.
It was. Yeah, I think.
If you ever try and write stories or poems, it's really noticeable that there's a million creative novel storylines that you can create.
So why do they keep remaking the same stuff?
I wonder whether it's a kind of capitalist thing, and it's kind of doing contracting. So it's something that's recognizable.
It's worked
once. It's going to work once, and that's going to help give a guide to whether it's going to work in the future.
Yeah.
Whereas if I say I'm going to write about foreign spaghetti that invades the coast of some country and then global warming hits it.
Novel idea.
That's the way my mind thinks, right?
Yeah.
But they'll think, oh no, it might not sell.
It's almost like that they went through the sort of they did the sequels to death. They killed so many films with sequelizing.
Mm-hmm.
Then now they thought, let's go back and start again. And then there's remakes, and then we have the sequels of the remakes. Because I think there will be another Ghostbusters, actually, won't there?
Yeah, and I think they should make films that are not based on books. I think it'd be nice to write the story specifically for film.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's good. I think that there seems to be, I think we are, if we're not already there, I think we may be approaching a weariness with comic book superhero movies. I think that we went through a period where everything was a Western and then they kind of died off. And I do hear, you know, friends of mine who are fairly into the comic books are just like, it's getting a bit much now, and they've already planned another sort of 4 or 5 years.
It was very noticeable with Tintin that when they went to make a film of the Tintin stories, which had already sold very well, they started to prepare to translate them into many languages and sell all this, you know, sort of gizmo stuff that you can buy. You can have your knapsack coloured with Tintin and so on.
Merchandise.
Yeah, and the merchandising is to make money.
Yeah.
So really, at the moment, it's not about the audience and our needs. It's not about diversity or creativity or beauty or lessons. It doesn't have any moral lessons in any of these films, I think. It's just about, we're going to make money and we're going to give you the minimum amount of satisfaction that'll get you to buy your ticket.
It's
or
like
buy
the
your
fast
DVD.
food. It's the fast food.
It's like fast food.
I've thought of it.
Yeah, McDonaldized films.
McDonald's films.
I would walk out if they remade either The Golden Child or Big Trouble in Little China. If they remade either of those 2 movies, I would be out of the cinema. That'd be it. I'm not having enough.
Well, you'd have to go and buy a ticket to walk out and protest.
I would. That's what I would. No, what I would do is I'd go back to the old school days. I'd get somebody to buy a ticket, go into the toilet, open the window so I could climb in through the window, and then I'd go in for free just so I could walk out. That's how committed to this I am.
Thanks very much for that, Stephen.
I want to see government pay for new films.
You want to see the government pay for new films?
Yeah. Historical films, documentaries.
That's a whole other something to say, isn't it, Wendy? Brilliant. Thanks very much for that, Stephen. Thank you for yours, Wendy, as well. And that's us now going into the final segment of tonight's Daily Rundown. But don't go anywhere. We still have a little bit left for you. We'll see you in a few minutes.